Welcome back to Planescape Torment. On the last part, we came face to face with the consequences of my previous actions that I didn't quite fully understand. My daughter, Deonara, passed away some time ago. So that's cool. Before we head into the Civic Fest Hall, which probably has about 1 million people that need to be talked to, I thought I would try to find that guy. Where is that guy? That linguist, Finnem. I found his book. I found a book of his somewhere, and I thought he might be interested in it, so. Nope. Cool, waste of time, great. Into the Fest Hall, here we are. Splinter, alright. Oh, this is some background music, okay. This towering man's golden skin sparkles slightly, almost as if it were metallic. Whether it's his actual flesh or merely painted on, you cannot tell. He regards you coolly as you approach, giving a respectful bow as you draw near. Welcome to the Civic Fest Hall, traveler. We are Splinter, doorman to the Fest Hall, and Priest King of Ur. Of Ur? What? Okay, what? How may we help you? Despite his humble offer of aid, his voice is powerful and commanding, a deep and rumbling sound that resonates through the chamber. How can you help me? We do many things in this fine hall, traveler. We answer both questions guests might have regarding it or its inhabitants. We direct both visitors and members of the Society Sensation alike to the sensoriums or lecture halls. We also accept new members into the Society. Lastly, it is through us that purchases from the Society's vaults are made. Spells, items, and such. I had some questions. We'd be pleased to answer what questions we can, so long as they pertain to the Fest Hall or the Society of Sensation. Is there somewhere I could rest here? I guess that's potentially relevant. There are lodgings within the Fest Hall, but only members of the Society of Sensation are permitted to use them. Should you wish to visit them, walk eastward through the Fest Hall from here. We will eventually come to them. The clock there allows sensates into their rooms. So there are no other ways to get a room here? You must be a member of the Society of Sensation first. Was there something in this? No, I can't remember if there was. Was there a room in here that I needed to get into, or was that somewhere else? I don't know. I have to check my. I have to check my diary. I am going to find it extremely difficult to find this note, aren't I? No, it must have been before this. Do I even have a note of this in here? Oh, here's Barking Wilder. This was it. Oh man, this was not easy to find. Okay. Something journal, Walls of a Tomb, found that one. A cupboard in my guest room in the Hall of Sensates. And that there were others to be found. Okay, so I need to get in there, basically is what this is telling me. It's kind of weird that that didn't fall under my, actual quests or whatever. Okay. So, let's see. Rest here. No other ways to get a room. Oh, but, I am a sensate. Really. A true priest king of Ur can see the lies dripping from one's tongue. It is unwise to lie to us, traveler. Apparently... I can't follow... If I had a guest room here, surely I was a member of the sensates at some point, so therefore it's not really a lie. But I guess that's not going to fly. I was jesting, not lying. I had another question. I guess I have to join the stupid society then. Or I guess I could sneak in. That's always an option. What can you tell me about the Fest Hall? The Civic Fest Hall is one of the largest buildings in Sigil, fitting as it is home to the Society of Sensation, the city's largest faction. It holds the sensoriums, lecture halls, training chambers, and such for visitors and members of the society alike. So what is the Society of Sensation? I feel like we've got kind of a good grasp by this point. Well, I might as well ask. The core of a sensate's belief is that the multiverse can only be truly known through the senses. If one cannot sense it, then a thing it isn't. Only through experiencing all the sensations to be had, can the full truth of the multiverse be revealed. The Society of Sensation, then, is where experiences gather and are shared with others, usually via the sensoriums. I guess we're gonna ask, might I become a sensate? In order to join the Society of Sensation, one must be willing and prepared to share their own experiences. 5 are required, 1 from each of the senses. Alternately, one may contribute a single experience that has strong elements from all 5 senses. These must be either new sensations or improvements upon our current stock. Should we find them acceptable, they will be placed into sensory stones, and you, having become a sensate, will be taught the sensory touch. It will allow you to draw others' wounds onto yourself, healing them by accepting their suffering. That sounds kinda useful, I guess, since I can regenerate, but... I don't know if I wanna... I don't know. I kinda feel like I wanna just sneak around a little bit first. There's someone I'm looking for here. Who was your seeking, traveler? Mistress Jolmy. I believe she is right here, so I don't know that there's much point in asking about her. Merriman? Merriman is usually pacing back and forth around the lecture halls. Travel through the middle door on the eastern wall, and the door beyond that as well. You will likely be wandering within the hallway you'll find yourself in. Great, love wandering NPCs. And this, Montague. A busy young man can usually be found moving between this chamber and 3 that lie along its eastern wall. Great, I'm never gonna find him. Cool. Is there anyone here who might know about Ravel Puzzle well? Splinter closes his eyes and thinks briefly. We would recommend that you speak to a wizard by the name of Quell about Ravel. Quell is always somewhere in the fest hall, most often in the private sensorium. How do I get in there? You must be a member of the Society of Sensation. God damn it. Or I could be good at picking locks. I don't know if that's gonna work. We found a lot of doors that they just don't let you open, but whatever. Alright, let's talk to this, individual. The stern-looking older woman seems to be looking for someone. Her eyes fix upon your face as you approach her. You there. Might I have a word with you? Yes, you're Jolmy, correct? I spoke to your messenger.
My journal.
I am pleased to meet you, then. She gives a slight bow. I would make you a somewhat unusual proposal, though you must admit you are an unusual man. I will give you 1,000 copper commons for your permission to kill you. Are you open to discussion on the matter? But why? Jolmy doesn't bat an eyelash. But why not? I thought it might be an interesting experience, paying someone for the privilege of murdering them. When I first heard rumors of your existence, how could I resist? So, what is your answer? Shall we discuss the matter in greater detail? That's weird. One moment. Where did you hear these rumors? Jolmy frowns. One hears of all sorts of things in the fest hall. How could one not eventually hear of a man like you? Again, I ask. Will you consider my proposal? I guess we can talk about it. After a short discussion, it comes down to the following terms. Jolmy will pay you 1,000 copper commons. In return, you will allow her to drive her dagger into your heart. She will wait for you to awaken, at which point she will give you the coin. Do you agree to this then? Cool. Well, whatever. Apparently, the trauma of repeated murder is not a major concern for the nameless one here. He seems like he's pretty desensitized to the whole thing. So sure, whatever. Free money. The affair is over in moments. She's already cleaned her blade and put it away by the time you've recovered. After picking yourself up off the fest hall floor, Jolmy hands you several rolls of copper coins while you rub your aching chest. Somewhat disappointing, I must admit. Oh well, coin well spent nonetheless. Farewell. Great, that was weird. Whatever. This is gonna be really fun trying to... Oh, there's that Montague. I might as well get to him. Well, you know what? Actually, hang on. I hadn't quite decided how this is gonna go down yet. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, also just sort of pointing out the... Juliet's lover here is named Montague. So yes, a very obvious Romeo and Juliet reference that I failed to pick up on at the time. I hate Romeo and Juliet. Fucking... Shakespeare wrote some good plays, that is not one of them. My god. Anyway, this handsome young man seems lost in thought, his brow furrowed, and a slight frown upon his lips. Hello. And thee, sir, hail. What dost thou wish of me? Of course. Right, Juliet was giving us a lot of dusts and thous as well, which is a bit unusual, considering the rest of the text in the game, and he's doing it too, and yes. Like, I get it, okay? I get it, alright? You can stop, it's fine. Whatever, fuck that. You Montague, I need to speak with you about Juliet. Oh, he gives you a puzzled, slightly suspicious look. Apparently, I don't have any ability to just tell him honestly what happened. Actually, forget about that. Let's just talk about you first. Who are you? I'm named Montague, factotum of the Sensates. Factotum. Verily, sir, a member, if thou like. Sensates? Verily, sir, Society Sensation, faction of Sigils, sir, the largest. Shouldst thou wish to learn more of the Sensates, speak with Splinter. Thou shalt find him just inside the entrance to this building. What you doing? I work as an assistant for the faction's administrators. Though more often now than the past, I find myself perplexed by one of life's strange ways, such as problems of the feminine variety. You're female? That's a good response to that. The young man gives you a long look. Nay. What's the problem exactly? I don't know what's bothering her. I've tried to cheer her up. I don't know what could be the matter. How are things between you two? Other than this bout of discontent and humdrums, everything is splendid. All that orbits around us does so with tranquility. Our families are more than satisfied with our potential union, and our siblings love me. There's nothing wrong. Perhaps that's the problem. No problems. How dost thou mean that no problems are problems? 'Tis my desire that thou speak plainly, sir. Perhaps she wants a little more spice in your relationship. How wouldst thou know what she wishes? He becomes heated. We love, and we love unconditionally, with none of the sordid or poisonous wrappings that seem to unfold all in young love. I call thee out, sir, and I call thee a recreant knave and a fool. You're a fool to seek a fight with me, but I'll give it to you. I probably shouldn't do that. Hold there, calm yourself. I'm sorry, 'twas the fury of the moment that caused me to speak so. I tender my apologies to thee and thine, good sir. Just watch yourself. Fighting me might have been the worst mistake you've ever made. Then watch myself I shall, sir. I guess I'm not gonna get anything else out of this, huh? About this place. Civic Festival, thou wouldst do well to speak with Splinter. Yeah. Know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Legendary Night Hag, no. Thou should speak to Quell, sir. He's most knowledgeable regarding such things. He's within the Fest Hall, so where I do not know. Okay, let's talk about Juliet. This is a fucking awful idea. This is so stupid. I don't... like, it's just gonna force me into a fight with this guy, right? Like, that's what's gonna happen? And then I kill him, and then she's gonna be pissed off about it, and nobody's happy. Like... whatever. I demand her love. I demand that you withdraw your false protestations of love before I mash you into tiny bits. I love her so that thou would fight me? No, I don't love her, but I'll fight for her. But you see, that is passion. Passion stems from love. Thou love her, and I could not deny her a love such as thine. I know very well her beauty, her temperance, her virtue, and I know how she may inspire men to greatness. I shall from this moment onward hold no claim on her. Thou may do as thou wish. Oh, hang on. I was not serious. A ruse? Of what sort? She wanted to provoke you into fighting for her. Oh. Did she think my love so boundless that I would engage in fisticuffs with a brutally scarred man of thy stature? Perhaps she thinks my devotion to her a little high. And so what should be done about this ruse? Turnabout is fair play? Sure, whatever. I say ignore the chit, act distant and unconcerned. That'll spice things up considerably. Truly. Trust me, kids, start ignoring her, create some friction, leave them wondering, they'll be clawing all over to discover what the matter is. Right, Chief? Yes, she'll think something's wrong, and for once, he'll be playing the game, rather than being the target. I like the sound of that very much. Okay. Hope that fucking works out, and lead me the fuck out of whatever crazy shit happens. Thank you. And farewell to thee as well, sir. Now I have some things to attend to. Should we meet again, we might speak more of the matter.
You know, I've learned some new tricks.
I hope you don't get killed or whatever. I don't really hope that. I don't care, actually. The storm appears to be as old as the building itself. It looks unused, more of a piece of artwork than a ruler's seat. There is nothing hidden behind the bars which adorn the face of this pillar. Okay. Why is there a headless guy? I mean, he clearly has a head. Hang on, what's going on here? Mertwin the Headless. Alright, hang on. It's clear there's something very wrong with this man. The way he lurches about, bumping into things, staring off blankly into space. As you approach him, you at last realize his plight. He's headless. The thing on his shoulders is merely a skillfully carved wooden prosthesis, a false head. Oh, I see. Okay. Hello? The headless body stops fumbling for a moment and pauses. its hands begin to reach out, as if trying to feel exactly where you are. How does he hear me if he doesn't have a head? I'm not gonna question it. Let it touch you. I guess, it's fine. After a moment, its finger brushes your forearm. It clutches your arm and follows it up to the shoulder, then your head. As it feels your face and head, its hands brush your neck, as if it were checking for something. Finally, it grabs your hand and shakes it vigorously in greeting. You notice that its skin is cold and slightly clammy. Can you understand me? The figure makes a series of hand motions, then waits for a response. It seems like it's asking a question. What? I don't know sign language, man. The headless body taps its foot for a moment, scratching at the chin of its prosthetic head. Suddenly, it raises a finger as if struck by an idea. It points at you, then at the eyes of its wooden head, then at you again. It then indicates its wooden head with both hands, shrugs, and points at you. No. I haven't seen your head anywhere. The headless body shrugs, slumps a bit, and turns to amble off. Okay, well, if we find a head somewhere, we'll know who it likely belongs to. I guess. Quisai? Is it a gif? I don't know. This is a life-sized granite statue of a gentleman standing with his arms at his sides, eyes closed. It is of excellent craftsmanship, exquisitely detailed, and incredibly lifelike. So much so, in fact, that you find yourself wondering if it's really a statue at all. Hello? The statue makes no response. Chief? You've seen statues before, right? I know they don't talk back or anything. Perhaps, Mort, I'll just touch him. You touch the statue and find that, while the clothes that adorn it are of gray cloth rather than rock, the skin is as cool and hard as granite. Punch it. As you make to strike the statue, its eyes flash open, and it catches your fist in an iron-hard grip. Narrowing its cold gray eyes, it speaks with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Why would you strike Quisai? Forgive me, I only meant to see if you were truly a statue. He nods slowly, frowning. You are forgiven. However, one feels you are lacking patience. Perhaps. I had some questions. The statue remains as silent as ever. Hello? Questions? There's still no response. Wait for a response. There is still no response. You get the sense that Quisai might be testing your patience. Okay, fine. I'll wait as long as it goddamn takes. I don't care. I'm not gonna die of old age. A few minutes pass, and Quisai has still failed to respond. I'm waiting. The statue's eyes open. He gazes at you with cold, gray eyes. He speaks ponderously, with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Your patience is noted. Quisai would speak with you now. Mort rolls his eyes and makes a gagging noise. Powers, no, not another Burke that talks like this. I have questions about you. After a period of silence, he speaks. Ask. What is it you were meditating upon when I first found you? Quisai meditates upon the way of stone. What is that? Quisai nods. A philosophy, a method of combat. With it, Quisai seeks to achieve invulnerability. Invulnerability? You'd be unbeatable in combat? Yes. Now, the way is not yet perfect. Quisai will make it so one day. Quisai knows this. Can you tell me what you've discovered so far? Quisai nods. No one has asked Quisai to share his knowledge of the way. Quisai shall do this now. He begins to speak at length, slowly and carefully. Listen, try to understand the way of stone. After hours of listening and many, many questions, you still cannot understand Quisai's way of stone. The concepts are simply too complex and alien for you to wholly grasp. Well, thanks anyway. I'm too dumb to understand how to be a rock. About this place. This is the Civic Fest Hall. Need you no more? Find another to ask. Okay, cool, good. You know anything about Ravel Puzzle Well? Nope. Cool, even better. Alright, well. Moving on. Back your lids and crack your back boxes. Slutterin' Tanari, a butcherin'. From the human point of view, it's not promoting one. What's he talking about? So, Steam and Steepa Barmy. The squat, hunched man still has the broad shoulders and scarred, calloused hands of a worker or warrior. An aura of weary despair seems to hang about him. He appears to be giving a lecture at the moment. I guess we can listen.
Right, now listen up. There's a seminar on the war. You're here to listen about the blood war take root. If you're not, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong hall. You best ump your soft, comfort-loving Sigillian limber stems out here.
A blood war? More boring than listening to a governor recite laws. Let's find some young sensates who need to be indoctrinated in the ways of passion. He waggles eyebrows in anticipation. Shut the hell up, Mort. I get the distinct impression you're trying to keep me away from this. And that makes me want to know about it more. I want to hear this. The man suddenly throws a dark eye over the audience, as if looking for something.
And further, if you're Tanari or Bartezu, your scaly eyes out the door. I's not letting you ornery bastards bend in ears and then listen to your balmy arguments.
I'll look over at my companions. I guess I don't think Anna technically counts, but it seems like Fall from Grace definitely would.
Because there's no discussion on who's right.
Behind you hear the sounds of something large leaving the lecture hall.
Just tells a blood war from a human point of view. It's not promoting one side or another, because they both stick in different ways.
Okay. Speaker becomes somber.
So what's left of you wanting to listen to some blood war stories? Tales about the war? You'd hear the horror of it all, no doubt. Floating fortresses wove and weaved out of human skin. A plains-wide battlegrounds of blood war before on.
He bares his yellowed teeth.
Tales of fiends locking fangs with other fiends. Tales of fiends locking fangs with other fiends. Grah, snarl.
His snarl fades, and he looks suddenly bored. Okay.
Well, let me peel back your lids and crack the bone boxes. 'Tis all a steaming cat of barmy nonsense to be dwelling on that forged dung.
He spits in derision, rolling his eyes wildly.
I'll tell you this, though. You can't imagine the scale of Blood War's fought on. Nothing you've seen, heard, or participated in, nothing compares. Time, numbers, or legions, sheer bloodshed, nothing compares, Burks. To try and imagine it, forget it. My advice, simple. Stay away from the big bloody mess altogether. The only thing you need to know is this. Fiends are killing fiends. Bartezu slaughtering Tanari. Tanari are butchering Bartezu. Right now, he spits again. Neither's winning. Don't think either can win. Biggest stalemate side of eternity, think of powers. That's it, he shrugs. That's it, I'll be answering any questions you got for me now.
That was a shit lecture, my god. That was awful. I have a question.
What's your question, Cutter?
Can't you give a little more info on the Blood War itself?
Well, to boil it down and be this. Blood War's been going on damn near forever, and will keep going on till damn near forever itself gets penned in the dead book. Tanari, the champions of chaos and evil, trying to stomp the green-coloured dung out of Bartezu, the champions of law and evil. They butcher each other over how each of them thinks evil should be, if you can believe that. Ha!
What do you think would happen if someone stomped the Blood War?
You can't make any piking difference in the war, it's too sodden big. You're a stone, a pebble in an ocean, that's a pebble in another ocean, which is a pebble in another ocean, and so on and so forth, till the stench cows come home. As a pebble, your goal is to be not noticed and sink to the bottom with the rest of the dregs.
Go on.
If you make a difference, which you can't, you shouldn't try, because then the planes would tumble on down.
The planes would tumble down? Why? He holds up his hands like pillars.
The Blood War is like a big bloody support beam popping out of the planes. Kick it down and a lot of the planes come tumbling down with it. A lot of baggage rests on the back of the war.
He suddenly brays like a donkey, laughing bitterly.
The biggest, nastiest pack animal on the plains.
Okay. He grins cynically.
So as some say, war's great for business.
He laughs hollowly, and then looks as if he could suddenly cry.
Never you mind that. Another question.
Are you alright? You seem pained. The man smiles sadly.
Aye. Listen, Cut, I'm no priest, nor would I want to be one, but hear this. Keep evil out of your heart. When you die with evil in your heart, your spirit falls into the lower planes, where you become a petitioner.
Uh-huh.
And he guesses as to what happens then. Petitioners in the abyss and Bartol get twisted into foot soldiers, and get to fight in the Blood War for all eternity.
He chuckles, shaking his head.
That's as dark as why the Bates and Tenari and try and corrupt all they touch, because they need more troops. Eat this. Keep evil far from your heart, Bert.
That sounds like it sucks. What started it?
You got a right to be curious what started this big old sudden soupy mess in the first place. What set the fiends to locking arms in the first place, biting and clawing at each other until that was the only reason they were alive.
Uh-huh.
Simple, they met, he sighs. Tenari and Bartezu crossed each other one day, and like two drunken bigots they set to fighting. That's simple, he frowns. Well, nah, pike that. Imagine two drunken priests who believe each knows the only way to live. Now, make those priests ripped with scales and fangs and oars and a cruel streak 7 leagues wide and put them in an itty-bitty sodden cell, and you have your goddamn love that can spring forth. And there you have it, origin of the Blood War.
Why are two evil races fighting?
One believes evil should be nice and orderly, one believes evil should be chaos running rampant across the plains. Both evil, but doesn't mean they can agree on anything. Bad blood, each wants to exterminate the other so their brand, the evil, remains. They hate each other he wrings his hands together trying to find the right words. You see, they don't hate like we hate. We don't even know what hate is. We have one word, one word for hate. They have, his voice drops, thousands upon thousands. Their meanings twisted and piled like bodies. That's why they fight.
How does one get hired into the Blood War?
You know, every once in a while, some leather-headed Bert comes around asking about a job in the Blood War. They want some jink, they want a quick stint, and then they get along with their lives. Mayhap I was one of those leatherheads. Mayhap I was a sellsword, and there was a little jink to be made in the war. Got me interested in. Taught me a lesson, it did. We're like ants running around the heels of dancing sod-pike gods, so big men who claim to be big soldiers, shakes his head, paper soldiers, war's a furnace for them, makes them wake up or burn.
How'd you survive? The man's face darkens.
Well, that's the one thing I won't speak of, Cutter. Suffice to say, a man does what he has to do to escape a war.
So where is it?
Plenty of places, usually the lower plains, anywhere along the river Styx. 9 layers of Bartor, 4 furnaces of Gehenna, grey waste, cold, red carcery, prison plain, and the pike and near endless well evil is the abyss.
Somehow the Grey Waste sounds familiar to you. Tell me about the Grey Waste.
Also called the glooms. He shrugs, then shivers as if by reflex. Grey in every sense of the word, colors burn your eyes there. They shout, they're too loud. And your dreams are pulled to the surface and poured on the ground, lost forever. Only the night hags rule there, grey ladies of the waste.
How does one survive the Blood War?
You wanna know how to survive the Blood War? 3 things, Carl.
He holds up a maimed hand with only 2 fingers.
First off, you stay the pike out of it. Secondly, keep yourself the pike and elves out of it. And lastly, you stay the bloody pike and sod pike out of it. If any part of the war rolls your way, let your imagination give you a bum a kick and run as far as you can, far and fast as you can. If you can't run, then lies really still and pray it passes you by.
He pauses a moment.
There's no place it don't touch, and there's almost nowhere you can run to get away from it.
If there's nowhere to run, why aren't there fiends fighting in Sigil?
Oh, now, Cutter, look. They have fought here a few times. Sometimes we get a little spillover from the Blood War. Our Lady of Pain, bless her steel-ridden heart, puts out the fires. Some of the time, he sneers. There's been times, some horrifying drizzle on yourself, you sudden scared times, when they're smashed and burnt and clawed their way through the whole sudden city blocks and Sigil before she decides to clean house.
He clucks his tongue and winks cynically.
So she ain't always as keen on stepping on the Blood War as it might seem, see?
Why don't the fiends just take Sigil? He laughs, but it turns into a sputtering cough.
Don't get me wrong now, both the Tanari and the Bartezi want Sigil fierce. It's the most precious staging ground on the Pike and multiverse. The cage the city adores and connects everywhere. You can't ignore it, and if you're serving in the Blood War and you want to win, you gotta have it.
The man coughs again.
There's just the fiends aren't going to get it while the lady's in charge, 'tis all. She's tough as nails, her blades will cut you deeper than any fiend's fang, and that knocks the fiend's stems like you wouldn't believe. One quiet lady, her hands tucked in her sleeves, holding back the Blood War all by herself. He laughs bitterly.
I don't find it hard to believe that a woman can stop the Blood War. But fiends are still allowed in Sigil.
Oh, damnably certain. Can't brawl in the streets too much, so as neutral ground still allows them to rattle their bone boxes out trying to murder each other. Sometimes they'll chat up with each other here. Peace don't stay that way for long, though. Also, just because they can butcher each other they can't butcher each other in the streets, don't mean spies, recruitment, and backstabbing don't still go on here. They fight battles with lies and words, Bert. Sometimes with all the bluster and blather. And there's safe houses too, places where they can cool their talents for the next skirmish. And they like to recruit here too, looking for boys fresh off the plains with little greed in their hearts, and they can make part of their glorious army. Stop speaking to peer closely at you. Mayhap they recruited you once, eh, Cutter? You look like you tasted the war. Perhaps. War leaves a scar on you, Cutter. You'd know. And you'd know you never want to go back. Your temples begin to throb painfully as you consider the man's words. A memory begins to surface. Yeah, I sort of suspected this might be the case. Try and remember. The lecture hall begins to fade from view as terrible visions begin to seep up from the base of your mind. Visions of a place where seasons are like nothing you've ever felt or heard, or trying to shut out. A place where prayers go unheard, falling like stones to the earth. Vein-colored lightning flashes across things that were once sky but now boil beneath your feet and scream when you brush against them. You run at the head of a large band of men, passing through dark canyons where the walls quiver moistly and beat like a heart, wearing only your own blood as clothing. At last you stand in a place where the ashen gray terrain slithers like a mass of snakes, coiling around your ankles and whispering your evil to the earth. You march endlessly, silently, through this colored land where fatigue seems to live and hunt you like a shade over the wastes, whipping you with despair. In time, you and the ragged men who follow you come upon a hag sitting upon a mound of gigantic, writhing larvae, poking at one of the slime-covered things with a broken talon. You indicate for one of the men to run forward and speak with her. The hag's grating voice carries to your ears. "I would speak with him," she said, then cackled. Her eyes gleam as she points you out to the man. "And someone that leads your ragged column. I would speak with him." And that is all you can recall. Guy, feeling alright there? I wonder if that's supposed to be Ravel. I guess it would be a little unlikely that we would have run into multiple hags in the Grey Wastes, right? So we ran into her in the Blood War? Did we only have one encounter with her, or... Damn it, I don't know. The pieces aren't quite fitting together yet, and I think I better just hold on to my thoughts. Yes, I'm fine. So do the fiends recruit often? He nods grimly. To be sure of that, Circle's the best source of fodder on the plains. Beats milking planets for all their prime inhabitants, too much work. Any more advice surviving the war? Aye, whatever you does, don't talk about the Blood War with any fiend, or any Deva, or Archon for that matter. Just don't talk about it, period, because you never know who in the hells you're really chatting with, and all of them get mighty touchy when you bring up the war. It's their reason for living. Anything else? He nods. Don't go through any portal unless you're pike sure you know where it goes. Maybe you haven't heard tales of clueless planewalkers stepping through a portal and end up smack dab in the middle of a Blood War skirmish. Know why you haven't heard of them? Because those sods are dead. Anything else? And whatever you does, never sign on for a tour duty, no matter how much jink they flash in your mug. Certain death and signing on for a tour in the Blood War are the same thing, Cutter. Why is that? Just as when you sign up, they peel you so you tour duties till time itself grinds to a halt. Even death wouldn't be a release, because then you sink into the lower planes and get dragged back up as something worse than you were before. Then they got their talons on you for all eternity. How would you get out of a tour contract? Unless they don't want you, you don't have much chance. Never heard of it been done with mean-spirited recruits or somebody they really wanted to keep their talons on. Witna Tanari is risky, but can be done. The Bartezu are much more dangerous with their contracts. You sign one of those, you're damned for life. You might try a little garnish or try and daub them, and they might let you make a run for it. But where would you go? There's so many else. And dying in the Blood War would be an especially bad thing. If you're evil, sure. If you're good, you get to another plane and it spends your afterlife, but you'd still be a debtor. Now for me, I still got a lot of evil to wash from his soul, so if I died in the lower planes, they would have me locked, stock, and barrel. You go to another plane when you die? Can you explain that? Go talk to the other death lecturer if you want a dark on that. I can't explain it as well as he. though he's twice a fool and might scold you with hot air roaring from his mouth.
Okay, I think that's enough of that. This is really, this is tough. This is hard. I'm trying. Oh god, ow. Tell me about the Tenari. The man nods.
Denari pay better than Bartezu, but you need to be 2 or 3 faced and have a bunch of eyes sprinkled all over your body, because they can't ever turn your back on them. They're chaos. Ones with a whim and whimsy in their hearts, trust or upholding their word aren't high on their list.
He sniffs, then shrugs.
They don't care what happens so long as something happens and 'tis evil. Mostly they attack the Bartezu to keep from killing each other.
And the Bartezu.
The man nods. They don't usually pay as much as the Tenari, but they don't break their written word. They're smart, though. Several hundredfold smarter than they've been making contracts since time began. They don't know how to peel someone with words. They do. Sign and most likely you'll be peeled and hung to dry in their legions. They plan like bastards. They put more thought and preparation to a single strategic skirmish than most human armies devote to an entire campaign.
He sniffs and scratches at his chin.
They usually assemble their forces on Avernus, the first layer of Bartor.
What's Avernus like?
Avernus?
The man grimaces as if recalling the place caused physical anguish.
'Tis inhabited by the damned and those that prey on the damned. The red lands and noxious sands and blistering fires that scream across the landscape. That was my taste of Bartor, the lair Avernus. Terrible place.
What sort of forces serve in the Blood War?
All sorts, aside from various small burks from across the plains, Abishai and Cornagons, Lemures and Naparibo, Succubi, list goes on and on.
Tell me about Abishai.
They're the grunts in most Bartezu armies. There's different sorts, black-scaled ones being the weakest and most common.
Cornagons?
Cornagons are dead hard, cutter. It's rare to see more than a few of them together, though sometimes they form bands of elite troops. Usually they lead lesser forces like Abishai and mortal mercenaries into battle.
Lemures.
Lemures are these things that look like melted people, annoying little sods that regenerate even as you're killing them. They're oblivious to danger or pain, and so they'll never run away from a fight. Mostly good for dying on the front lines and not much else.
Naparibo?
Fat little pikers have these tiny heads, deaf, dumb, and blind. They exist to die on the front line, hard to kill too. Even the most wee bit of them will grow back into a whole one if you let it.
Succubi.
Denari, lovely but dead evil they are. Seduce mortals, try and drag them into the abyss.
He nods to fall from grace. No offense, milady. None taken. You are quite correct. Okay. Whoops. I don't know. I must have left by accident. I'm not sure what happened. So you'll tell us no tales of the Blood War.
Alright, one. Let me give you an example of what meat means to them. They'll get some mean-spirited mortal mercenaries together, maybe drop a few million strong and let them slaughter each other for no real reason at all. Pointless battle over some power's forsaken piece of land. Guess where all those souls go?
Where?
Their souls sink into the planes of evil they fight on, where they're going to be ripped from the soup and the plane and set to fight again as lemures or mains or whatever the pike and sod those little fiendish dung heaps become. The more of those sodden petitioners they get, the more troops they have.
Okay, I think I'm done. No questions, actually.
Right, this is the last bit then. Some of you are sensates, so I got one thing to say to you. Don't sign up to see what the Pike and Blood War is about. Don't be a balmy idiot. Use a sensory stone if you gots to know, but stay the hells away from anything to do with the Blood War, for real. It's just not worth it.
For a moment, a look of great pain crosses the man's face. It looks as if he was going to weep.
Not worth it at all. That's the end of this session, so farewell.
Okay. Ow. Pain. Ow.
That's the end of the episode. I'm done talking. Get the hell out of here.
Welcome back to Planescape Torment. On the last part, I don't know what. Damn it, Anna. Just shut up for a second.